I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. The air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. And we sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. The Madison County Council meeting is not over yet, so we're still watching what's going on there in the Madison County Council meeting, and I don't rightly know how much longer that meeting is gonna go. Let me tune in here and see. Yeah, no, I don't know. Let me see if I can get a message here to Catherine really quickly. We'll just really quickly go live to the meeting and see. Give me 1 second here. We'll tune in live here and see what's happening in the meeting. Give me a moment here.
No, it is. I want to support everybody. I've got 200 plus employees, including my merit officers, and they didn't get a raise last year at all. Nothing. And the merit officers did get a 3% last year underneath their own contract. I do not feel confident in saying, yes, I'm going to sign a contract and I'm going to fund this, because then what happens at the end of 27 and I'm doing a 28 budget? Sorry, guys, we have to do a pay cut. I don't want to give you a pay cut. I don't want to have to do that. But I do feel confident, and I do feel comfortable saying, I will take some money out of the rainy day fund, because I've heard a lot of complaining about our rainy day fund. And yeah, I get it. But I would be willing to say, yes, let's do that increase out of the rainy day fund. The rainy day fund will generate more revenue next year to be able to do, hopefully, another 11% payout, a one-time payout, to be able to do that. But to say that I'm going to increase your salary by 11%, I can't do that. I personally can't do that, because I can't fund it with the revenues.
Yes, you can.
And the rainy day fund is not a revenue source. It's a savings.
Let me see if I can get a hold of Catherine and find out where we are in the meeting.
I'm not okay with funding salaries, because at some point in time it's gone.
Sure. We're open to suggestions. Would you mind? Yeah, if I would. I'm going to offer this suggestion without knowing the answer.
Okay. Well, we'll continue. We'll continue monitoring this, but we're going to put this down to the side here, and we'll let them fight out what they're fighting out in the meeting, and we'll let Catherine come on and tell us at some point tomorrow or the next day or the next day or the next day or never. And, it is what it is. But it sounds like there's elected officials that are doing elected official things. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. Most of them are bad. Most of them are idiots. It is what it is. But we've got breaking news. We've got really big news, and it sucks because a lot of the Madison County people are in the Madison County Council meeting, and it's a very important meeting. However, we needed to go live, and I wasn't going to push this back, and I'm not going to push it back anymore because we have big news. Obviously, everybody knows about it. It's been everywhere. I'm still calling it breaking news because I'm still getting people that don't know about this news. And so they're seeing it for the first time. They're hearing about it. They're going crazy. I'm getting people that's like messaging me. I've received about 500 calls or texts since about 4:30 this afternoon. And that is because, ladies and gentlemen, the wanted fugitive from Madison County, the once former councilman from Madison County, the once former preacher from Madison County, Stephen Sumner, the pedophile, the sexual predator, the man that has been on the run for the last 2+ years, has been taken into police custody today near Winchester, Kentucky. Steve Sumner has been captured. Ladies and gentlemen, the man is in custody. It's all over the news. It's everywhere. And it's so amazing. It's such a great story. I was talking to Catherine last night. Catherine and I were talking about this yesterday evening. And we were both talking, and I said, you know, I'm starting, like, I believe, I've always said, because people said, well, I think he's killed himself. And I always said that I felt that he was too narcissistic to kill himself. I didn't believe that he would kill himself because he's too narcissistic. But we were just talking about how the fact that most people, when they are on the run like this guy, they get caught because they have to come out of the woodwork to lean on somebody. They've got to commit other crimes. They've got to commit other crimes to make money. They've got to come out of the woodwork and lean on family or friends to get money. But this man didn't have to do this because, and until I hear it differently, or until someone proves it to me differently, I will fully believe that he was being funneled money. I don't know who. I'm not going to make the claims of names or whatnot. I don't know who. I've got suspicions. I've got my sneaking suspicions. But I believe someone was funneling him money. Now, people are asking, how did this happen? Was this something that he just dumb luck got pulled over? What's going on? What happened here? We're still very, very early in this, but from what I've heard, so there were some sightings, and there were some reports that he was in Maryland, the state of Maryland, yesterday. yesterday, last night, something like that. And that he had dropped someone off, someone close to his girl companion, the girlfriend. He had either dropped the girlfriend off or he had dropped off a family member of the girlfriend or something like this. And that he was in Maryland. And so he then made the trip from that point from Maryland to Kentucky, which, man, that would be kind of a haul. Let's take a look and see what that would look like, because I don't know where in Maryland he was at. Maryland, USA to Winchester, Kentucky. Let's take a look and see. 8 hours, 14 minutes. So depending on where he was in Maryland. Maryland is not a big state. So he's somewhere in Maryland doing whatever he was doing in Maryland somewhere. And it could be anywhere between 8 to 9 hours. The girlfriend, I'm believing the girlfriend got arrested, but the stories are that someone got dropped off that was close to the girlfriend. Now, I'm hearing that someone actually gave information up. So my question is, and this is something we're going to have to see, does this person qualify for the $25,000 reward? There is a $25,000 reward that Catherine put forward out of the kindness of her own heart. It was a Christmas present to, I guess, the world, saying, you know, we need to capture this person. We need to get them in custody. And this is a Christmas present to the world. We put that forward. We were in conjunction with that. That was something in conjunction with the political spotlight and Catherine. We did that as a team. We put that out, and it's been out, and people made fun of it. Like, for the life of me, who in the hell's making fun of this? We have a pedophile that is on the run, a sexual predator who's on the run. And listen, it's not one sexual predator is worse than another, but not only is this man a sexual predator, but he is a sexual predator of people that looked to him as a father. So this man is the worst of all. And people were like literally making fun of the $25,000 reward. Why? Who? Why would you be doing that? Some of those very people are elected officials who are in that meeting that we put up on the screen, that I put up on the screen here. Oh, they're adjourning right now.
All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
So,
well, and that's what they do. They're going to wear them down and let it go, and wear them down and let them go and wear it down.
What we'll do, give me a second, we'll listen into this. This is going to be kind of a hodgepodge show tonight here, folks. Let me message into Catherine. Give me Give me a second. I'm going to call Catherine. No, the meeting just adjourned. I tell you what we're going to do. Let me do this. We'll put that up there, and I will turn this down here a second. That way we'll keep talking. I'm going to actually call Catherine and tell her to call in when she leaves. And we won't be able to see her, but we'll be able to hear her. Hey, I know I'm watching the meeting, and I know that you're packing up, and I'm live, and so when you're driving home, can you call in on Facebook Messenger, and then that way I can patch you in? Okay. All right. Call me. Bye. All right. So we'll let her do what she's doing there. She's got to run to the little girl's room, and we'll let them pack up here. We'll just watch this as we're watching, so we'll know when they're packing up, and then she's going to call in because she's actually got a little bit more information than I've got. Okay, so that is over. So that's done. So we will remove that, and we will await. We will await her call. And we'll do that. So here's the deal. If you're just tuning in, first of all, welcome. This is the Political Spotlight. Kate and I are here. She was taking care of something else when we first started, but she's here. We are live. This is the 520th episode of the Political Spotlight. I'm your host, Christopher H. Bilbrey. We've got a lot to talk about concerning this. If you would, smash that like button. Go there and hit that like button. Smash that. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It doesn't cost you anything. We're here 5 nights a week, Sunday through Thursday at 9 p.m. If you are feeling a little frisky and you think that you might be into doing something crazy, you might want to slide on over to the new YouTube channel. This is a totally new channel, youtube.com/@Bilbrey Clark Show, and subscribe to that channel. We are also on Facebook, facebook.com/Bilbrey Clark Show. We are going to be releasing static videos every Saturday at 3 p.m. starting Saturday, September 27th. So that'll be something new. It won't be exactly political. It'll be kind of pop culture, life, kind of a mixture of things. So you'll have to check that out. But tonight we are talking about this situation where the wanted fugitive from Madison County, Stephen Sumner, has been captured. Yeah, the link is you go to YouTube. Just go to YouTube and type in the @ symbol @Bilbrey Clark Show. That's all you got to do. It's very simple. Just go and put it in the YouTube bar. Bilbrey @Bilbrey Clark Show. It's very easy. The @ symbol, just like this. You just type in the back half of that. Go to YouTube and type in @Bilbrey, BILBREY Clark Show. It's very, very, very simple. So, wanted fugitive from Madison County, Stephen Sumner, captured, and Fox 59 was at the Madison County Government Center. I was there earlier, and they were there interviewing Sheriff John Beeman, and it does not look as if, at least it hadn't. Let me see here. It doesn't look as if they have ran that interview yet. I honestly don't know what they're waiting on. They recorded that. They recorded that several hours ago. So I don't know what exactly we're waiting on there. Former Indiana councilman accused of child sex crimes taken into custody after 2 years on the run. Stephen Sumner was wanted on felony warrants in Madison County for child molestation, among other things. Former Indiana councilman accused of child sex crimes was taken into custody in Kentucky after over 2 years on the run. The Madison County Sheriff's Department said Stephen Sumner was captured the afternoon of Tuesday, September 9th, 2025. The Madison County Sheriff's Department said investigators figured out Sumner was driving a blue 2010 Toyota Yaris and traveling near Winchester, Kentucky. My question is, I cannot wait to see who is the owner of this vehicle. So he is not currently in custody in Madison County. He is in custody in I think Howard County is Winchester. Let me see. Winchester, Kentucky. Let's see what county that is. Clark County, Kentucky is Winchester. And he is in, well, I would assume he's in jail there. He could have been taken to the federal detention center for processing, but he will be there unless and until he waives extradition or they go to court to fight it. So what will happen now is he's not brought immediately back to Madison County. They will jail him there in Clark County. I would assume that's what's going to happen. And they will ask him, do you want to waive extradition? And he will say yes or no. And somebody asked me this when I was at the Madison County Justice Center earlier. Do I think that he will waive extradition? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. He's going to make them fight it. He doesn't want to come back here. He's been on the run for 2 years. He does not want to meet the justice. He wants to delay that as much as he possibly can. If he fights it, it could be expedited and happen within 10 or 15 days. It could take 30 days. It could take 45 to 90 days. He could be down there for a while. I think it'll happen quickly, but I don't really care where he's at as long as he is behind bars. That's number one. I want him brought back here, and I want this process to get started. Okay, so if he waives, does that mean he will still take charges there? No. So no, they won't let him go. Here's what happens. So he's wanted out of Madison County Court. Okay. Basically, what will happen here is if he says, yeah, I'm not going to fight it, I'll waive it, take me back. If he waives it, they'll bring him straight back. He'll be booked into Madison County, and it could happen. If he waives it, technically it could happen as early as tomorrow or the next day or by the end of the week. If he waives it. If he doesn't waive it, and he says, no, I don't want to go back and I want to make them fight it. Basically, what will have to happen is we will go down there. We, meaning Madison County Justice, not me. I'm not part of that. I'm just meaning we as in the good guys. The good guys will go down there, and it's Madison County, so I'm going to say that loosely. I don't know how good they are, but you know what I mean. The prosecutor in Madison County will say, well, we want him brought back here. This is the charges. This is what he's facing, and this is why he needs to be brought back here. They will go down there. They will fight it. A judge will hear it. A judge will then determine, yes, he needs to go back. He faces these charges, and they will send him back. I'm sure there have been cases where someone's went to another state or whatever, and for various reasons, they have denied it, and it's been a legal battle. That's not going to happen in this case. What's going to happen in this case is he is either going to waive it and come home early, or he's going to be a bitch and he will stay down there hiding like he is and like the monster and dirtball that he is, and he will fight it, making them drag it out, and they will fight it. But then at the end of the day, a judge will sign off on him coming back. He's coming back to Madison County one way or another. There's nothing that's going to stop that. I don't think he'll waive extradition. They have him. He will come back. He gains nothing by fighting. Man, I don't know. I guess it depends on how conspiracy minded you want to get with something like this. Does he have information and dirt on people? Will he feel safe in the Madison County jail? Will he not feel safe in the Madison County jail? Is he safer in a smaller jail in his mind? Is it easier for him to lie about who he is and what he's done down there? There's going to be no hiding who he is up here. So when he gets here, he's going to have to be like locked down away from the people. He's going to be locked down frequently. I think he does have a few things to gain for not being here. I'll be shocked. I will be very shocked if he goes along with everything smoothly. I don't think he will. And I'm not specifically saying I care one way or another if he's safe, but they do have an obligation to make him safe, yada, yada, yada. And they'll take those steps. So that's just kind of what happens. So Winchester, looks like Winchester is just maybe about 20 to 30 minutes east of Lexington. So, I mean, we're talking it's probably 5 hours. 5 hours from here, 5.5 hours. Maybe 6 hours from Muncie, from Madison County, from Delaware County, or from Anderson, maybe 6 hours. So it's only 19,000. So it's a small community there. Not a very big community. It's less than 20,000 population. It'll be interesting. What did you say? Good evening, Stephanie. What did you say that vehicle was, Stumblefoot? 2010 Yaris? Toyota Yaris hatchback. That looks like one of his cars. That looks like a car he would be driving. I can't wait to find out who owns this car. Did he purchase this car? I mean, it's a 2010, so it's quite a bit older. So I could see him giving cash for it. Oh, man, we get into so many questions. Question number 1, whose car is this? Is it someone else's car? If so, did he steal it? Here's what I hope we don't have. I hope we don't have charges down there. Now, the charges down there won't be as serious as the charges up here, so our charges will take precedent over. But like, I'm thinking like, man, I hope he didn't steal a car down there. And that would be one reason. That's one reason somebody would fight. If you've got charges in multiple areas and one person's like wanting, and they're like, well, we want to take care of our charges first. That is a reason why sometimes they would fight. But I don't think that this sounds like a case. It seems like he was taken into custody. It seems like he was taken into custody without incident, meaning there was no fight, no struggle, no pursuit or anything like that. So it's going to be interesting to see who owned this car. Did he own the car? Did someone else own the car? If someone else owned it, were they helping him voluntarily? What the deal was? Did he buy it with cash? If so, where did he get that cash? I mean, this really starts to go down that rabbit hole, and I would love to be a fly on the inside of that interrogation. Now, unfortunately for us, I'm thinking about how I got to say this. How I'm going to say this. This dude's the scum of the earth. He's a dirtball. He is the worst possible human being. He's just horrible. But he's not smart, but he's not dumb. And so I kind of think that hurts us, because I can imagine he's going to be somebody who will say, I got nothing to say. I want to talk to my attorney. Now, I am in hopes that he says, yeah, I'm going to open up and I'll talk to you about everything. But I could absolutely see him saying, I don't want to say anything without my attorney. I think that he could be smart enough to do that. And if that happens, that's going to suck. But I hope that he is willing to talk with us, the police. I keep saying us because that was a lifestyle once again long ago. But I hope that he's willing to talk with the authorities, rather. And I hope that he's willing to spill his guts and here's the deal. If he has dirt on people, that might be something that he's willing to do. But again, that might not come up until after he talks to an attorney and they go through the process, because obviously he's going to want to work a deal out for himself. That just makes sense. He's not going to want to. He's not just going to say, "Oh, okay, I will just let you know everything." So let's see here. Brodus, has he been jailed for this and bailed out, or been running? So yeah, when he was first so this was an investigation that the state police started in the fall of 2020. This started in 2020 and it bled over into 2021. And he was actually still a sitting county councilor in 2021 when like people knew about this and they were wanting him to step down, and he was not going to resign. He actually went the day that this hit in all the media, and I covered it and other places covered it. When this first hit, it was the night of a council meeting, and he actually ended up going to the council meeting that night, and he read a little statement saying that he was not stepping down, he was not going to resign, and he was there. So while this asshole was being accused of these terrible crimes, he was an elected official who the taxpayers of Madison County had to pay a paycheck to for a period of time. Now, he eventually did finally resign. He was arrested and he was jailed. And then I believe, because we've talked about this several times and it's been such a long time, I forget. I believe another charges were added and a warrant was created, and he turned himself in, and he had a very low bail. He had a very, 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 very low bail. And the bail that he had allowed him to bail out. And then from that point, he went on the run. So he has like been formally charged in this case. He's been in jail 1 or 2 times as a result of this case. And it is what it is. He knows what's awaiting him. He knows what's coming to him. At one point, he was driving a church bus. See, he's always been, quote unquote, he's always been connected to the church. He's always been like preachy. That's what he always, that's something he did. So while he's apparently has been in hiding, one of the tips that law enforcement had was that he was working in a small church wherever he was hiding. And that's no, he's not pled. He's not pled. He's not guilty. He's still innocent until proven guilty. He is still innocent until proven guilty. He has not pled. He has not been found guilty. He's been to jail, and they have not started the legal process yet. He when he bailed out of jail, they were going to have a hearing, and that's when he left, and they just said bye-bye. And so that's what happened there. He was like, no, I'm not sticking around for that. So that's unfortunate. Now, I'm sure he had connections that were helping him. They need to be held accountable also. Yes. 100%. Anyone who was helping him in any way should absolutely be charged for their assistance in his escape. And did you wave at me? Oh. The thing is, what's interesting is we see this picture of him. This is what he looked like, clean cut, weirdo Steve. But it doesn't look like his time on the run has been good to him. We've got this just pulled Saddam out of his spider trap door hole in the ground in Saudi Arabia looking mugshot on the side of the road thing here, where they're like just dragging Saddam out. And, this is what he comes out of that trapdoor spider hole that Saddam had. This is what he looked like. You can clearly see here that the law enforcement officer is behind him, like handcuffing him. His shirt's kind of all twisted around. So like this must be like they made the traffic stop. They wanted to, make sure it was him. I'm sure. I don't know what it'll be interesting. Did he give them a fake name? Does he have a fake ID? What did he do? And, they must have called it in, and then they took this picture. And, sent it back and, and said, "Hey, is this the guy?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, this is the guy." Yeah. Obviously he's grown his hair out. And he's, got some facial hair here. He's gray, I'm sure being on the run hasn't been easy, meaning he's worried because you're always like looking behind you, you're always thinking like, your next step, the law enforcement's going to grab you. And so that's I'm sure that's been stressful on him, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, the time on the road doesn't look like it's been good for old Stevie. I think that's interesting. I don't know what Catherine is doing. I thought she was going to call right in. See here. Oh, speak of the devil. Let me see here. Okay, Kate contacted Catherine. We'll see what goes on. I thought she was contacting me, but it was actually Kate messaging the group. While we're waiting on Catherine, let me see here. Let me look and see if this other interview is up here. It'll be really interesting. Man, it's going to be really interesting to see who, if anyone, this case touches. And I know everybody has, that's probably true, Stumblefoot. I know that everyone has, suspicions on who, and I know that Catherine drops the names. I'd like to have a little bit more information before I go all the way there. But look, I'm gonna be honest. I fully believe he's being helped by people from Madison County. There's no question. And oh, she's calling. He said she's calling. Okay, Kate said she's calling. Give me a second here. We'll get ready to hook this up. Second, yeah. Okay. I tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to call her, and that way I can share it here, like this. Share. Right, here we go. Okay. Hello, can you hear me? No. That was going to be like that. So let me do this. Give me a second. We're trying to get this linked up here. All right, hold on. I can hear you. Can you hear me, Catherine? All right, I'm gonna connect you to the show here. Okay, talk and let's see if they can hear you.
What's up? What are you guys up to?
Yep, they can hear you.
All right. What's going on?
Well, we obviously we watched you. Hold on here. Let's see. I was reading one of the comments. Okay, so we just got done watching the end of the meeting. I tuned in and out of the meeting, so I was there with you. And basically, what happened was that I had a hotspot on, and even being inside that tomb over there, it wasn't letting my hotspot work, and so it kept dropping my feed. So then I walked back outside, and then I was just like, "Screw it, I'm leaving." And so I because it screwed up one of the feeds, but I got it fixed. So that's what I did. I left, and then I wanted to come and get the show ready. And I knew, seeing what I was seeing there, that the meeting was going to go long. So I figured that since everything was going on, I wanted to definitely cover the thing with Sumner. And so we've been talking about that. And so I thought maybe you would want to talk about what you know so far.
So, what I know so far is he's in custody. So whoop whoop on that. I mean, that's a big deal.
Obviously.
So this started last night about 8:30. I got a text message from Jamie Lynn, who said, "Hey, listen, I can't get a hold of the marshal."
Who is his ex? Who's his ex-wife? Or well, they're still married, but that she was married to him during this, and she's the mother of his victims.
Right.
Okay.
And so she messaged me, and so I called Beeman right away, and he answered me. So I'm appreciative of a sheriff who is willing to take my call at 8:30 in the evening. I mean, that's a true public servant right there. And because when I call the prosecutor's office, Andrew is receptive, but I mean, he's not going to penalize anybody. And so that's a problem, because like Andrew is a nice guy, fully knows we've got some problems, but I mean, what are you going to do if you don't have anybody who's going to prosecute the crimes? We got a problem. So here I am working with Beeman, and so we're asking, we're on this. She's like, "Hey, listen, the daughter of the aunt."
Hold on. You're kind of all right. Start. Wait. Start over from when you hung up, because you were kind of getting sideways. Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, this is like a bad patch right here where I go through. So, anyways, Jamie had gotten notification from somebody in Maryland. Evidently, this is where this girl's mother lives, who is the girlfriend that Steve's been on the run with. For whatever reason, he took her there to see her mom. So I don't know what that all entailed. So she goes there, and he drops her off. Somebody in the family notifies law enforcement, but they want us to notify somebody here on our side. So that's why they contacted Jamie Lynn, and then she got a hold of me.
Okay. And so can you hear me?
The evening lady.
Hold on. You're cutting up. All right. I can hear the road noise, so try again.
All right, can you hear me again?
Yeah.
So picked up this woman. I can't remember her name. the girlfriend.
The
They
girlfriend.
pressed her, the officers did press her, yeah, pressed her through the night, and she was able to give a description of the car. So it picked them up on a flock camera.
Yep.
In
Stumblefoot was
in
right.
Kentucky.
Stumblefoot was right.
And so that's how they were able to get him in Kentucky. So I guess they've been out in California or somewhere on the West Coast, somewhere over there, is where they've been hanging out, like in a real remote area. So I don't know how we got all this Tennessee garbage going, but that's where they were, somewhere over there. And I am going to go back another bad area. I just always know where the bad areas are. So they got him in custody. They'll have to process him there in Kentucky, and then from there bring him home. But the thing is Madison County denied Beeman last month for extradition funds.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We haven't
Council.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna have to come in from the council and get that. So listen, I gotta give a big shout out to Beeman. I mean, did you read the article that the Herald Bulletin put out about this?
I have not, no.
Well, it's on my Facebook page. I really would like you to read that to everybody, if you could now, because I'd really like to see what everybody's take is. There's one section in that article that I am in complete disagreement with.
Is it the part where Rodney's like, we did this. We did all of this.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We did every bit of this.
I have no idea where that's even coming from.
Yeah, that's dude, that's I don't even know what to say about that. That is so wild.
I mean,
so what's funny to me, what's funny to me about this is you've got the Herald Bulletin, who never wanted to talk about the $25,000 reward. They never wanted to make a mention. They only finally did it at the very last, and it was very weird how they did it. So they say, update, acting on tip for $25,000 reward, police nab ex-Madison County Councilman Sumner in Kentucky. And then it goes on and it says, former Madison County Councilman Steve Sumner, wanted on charges of sexual conduct with a minor, had been on the lam for more than 2 years when he was apprehended Tuesday in Kentucky. The U.S. Marshals Office arrested Sumner on Interstate 64 near Winchester, Kentucky. Sumner had been a fugitive since failing to appear in Madison County Circuit Court Division 3 on July 2023. Madison County Sheriff John Beeman said Tuesday that the U.S. Marshals Office obtained information about what kind of car Sumner was driving. Beeman said the arrest was made after the vehicle was spotted traveling west on Interstate 64. Madison County prosecutor Rodney Cummings said he was surprised at how long it took for authorities to arrest Sumner. It came about by actions of our office, he said. Cummings said the prosecutor's office filed a warrant for the arrest of Sumner's girlfriend, who was arrested in Maryland. He said someone who knew the girlfriend learning of a $25,000 reward posted by a local business owner, Catherine Callahan, contacted the authorities. Cummings said Sumner drove his girlfriend to Maryland to visit her mother, and she told authorities he was driving back to California at the time of his arrest. Beeman said following extradition proceedings, Sumner will be returned to Madison County, where he faces 18 criminal charges for alleged sexual activity with a girl under the age of 16. The most serious charge is rape, a level 3 felony. If convicted, Sumner would face a possible sentence ranging from 10 to 57 years and a maximum fine of up to $120,000. So I think this is.
But the question is, will he truly be tried in Madison County? Like, and I guess I get it. And here's the thing. I know they say, well, he's got a special prosecutor. Well, so did Russ.
Oh, yeah,
Russ had a special prosecutor, and he faced no charges, even though he was guilty.
Well,
so
back up. This is a little bit different than Russ. And the reason being is the special prosecutor in Russ's case was at the very front part, was starting to determine if charges would be filed. Charges are already filed in this case, and this will actually be a prosecution rather than a will we file charges or will we won't. So it's a little bit different than Russ's, but I get what you're getting at, and there is that question. And I'm going to say they are not going to want to take this to trial. They're going to do everything they can to plea this out. And this is the next thing that we're going to have to watch for, that they don't give him some kind of sweetheart plea deal where they drop a bunch of the most serious charges and give him some plea deal on some bullshit minor charge and let him skate on this. That's what my concern is going to be.
And here's the thing. If they do, then Andrew Hanna should never be prosecutor of Madison County.
Well, let me tell you, my friend, this is not going to happen. This case is not going to happen this year. And more than likely, by the time this goes to trial, Andrew will be either the prosecutor-elect or the elected prosecutor. That's my concern.
Well, and that's a good possibility, and I hope you post that because maybe people need to be thinking that somebody needs to run against Andrew, and people really need to start watching how this is all playing out. That it's just been too much of the friends and family benefit package, and it has.
Yeah.
And so and here's the thing, I don't anywhere in this, the prosecutor's office had anything to do with this. They're the ones who lost them in the first place.
Yeah.
They didn't ante up any money. They weren't out putting out a reward post. They weren't making wanted pages. So they weren't interviewing Jamie Lynn. They weren't putting her on shows. They weren't doing anything. So I am totally aghast that they even would be saying that they are the main reason that it's been brought to justice.
It came about by actions of our office. I know what they mean here, and that's so convoluted. Basically, what they're saying here is like the fugitive warrant. They helped create this warrant, which helped get him arrested. That's what all prosecutors do. That's a bare minimum job.
Here's the thing. If they would have had him locked up and done their job in the beginning, they wouldn't have needed to have to do some warrants. Okay?
Right.
So, quit doing stuff to make yourself look good.
Yeah.
Why don't you get it right the first time? How much money has this been a waste of taxpayer dollars? And it's a sad day when a citizen has to put up the money to get the job done.
Yeah.
These people go out. They do all this fundraising, all these golf events. They can put up billboards. They can bring in Mike Pence. They can have these huge dinners at the country club. They can do all this, but nobody can raise any funds or do anything to bring home one of their own. This is one of them. I don't care how they swing it. This is their guy.
Yeah.
This is who they promoted with. This is who they partied with. This is who they drank with. This is their guy, and no one did a thing. Nobody offered up a dime to bring him home.
Well,
that right there should tell the people what kind of public servants you have in Madison County.
Not only did they not do anything to bring him home, they honestly, in my opinion, made it as difficult as possible. They did everything they could to make it a joke, and they didn't care about it. I want to make sure people are aware of this, because some people know it and some people don't. And anytime I've ever heard someone learn this, their eyes about bulge out of their head. I want to make sure people are aware that after all of this happened, after he was investigated, after he was formally charged, after he was arrested, the Madison County government gave $10,000 to him
Right?
for his defense. They helped. They gave him money to help clear his name of this. Like
And
right
then they're
out in
sitting
the
here
open.
taking all this glory. So let me get this right. You people can't put $10,000 up to find him, but you can put $10,000 up to defend him. Something's jacked up about that. I mean, that's the whole,
It's crazy.
and that's my whole thing is, and then you want to take glory and credit in this? How about trying to give credit where credit is due? The number one credit has to go to Jamie Lynn. Okay, that's where that has to go to. There's no option.
Her and her kids,
At the end of the day, she had to put herself out there. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So and not only is she putting herself out there, she's putting herself out there, and she's being berated by the state police. She's being berated by the prosecutor's office. She's being berated by all these elected officials. Hey, remember at the polls, just at this last election in 24, the Lycans told her she was a crazy bitch.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, and let me remind everybody,
Yeah.
when I got interviewed about this $25,000 reward and they interviewed Rodney Cummings, he said, I don't think he'll be found.
Yeah.
How would you know that? How would you know that? And now you're stepping in here trying to take all the glory like you've done something grand? It's just the fact that the Herald Bulletin wants to say this $25,000. Well, who gave it? Why can't you why isn't my name
They
in
did.
the headlines?
You're not. You're not in the
Why isn't it in the headlines?
Yeah.
Why doesn't it start off the article that says Dr. Catherine Callahan, she did this? We can't put a title in front of Catherine.
No,
Are you kidding me?
It says business.
We can't use her as the introduction.
It says business owner.
That's exactly what I mean. And it's so pathetic to watch how they're handling this. But you know what? It just confirms at their level of arrogance and their level of incompetence.
Some dumbass,
I would be
Catherine
mortified.
Callahan.
Yeah, I would be mortified if I had a private citizen out there doing my job and she's never even gone to law school.
Yeah.
And then people want to say, well, Catherine, you can't get elected. Well, to me, it looks like I don't have to be elected to do your job. I mean, that's what, I wish people would really wrap their heads around that. The arrogance just floors me.
I said from the whole time, what we needed to do was not put the $25,000 out for the reward, pare it down to 10 or 15,000, have Beeman swear me in and give me like special deputy powers, give me arrest powers, and you and I could have went out on the road and used that $10,000 or $15,000 for gas and equipment, and I could have found him a year ago. But
that's what floors me, that nobody's been able to track this down.
Yeah.
In all this time. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you guys had, what was that guy's name that you guys had? Lewis?
Well, over in Winchester, yeah.
And he went all the way to England, and you guys found him in days.
They found him in a matter of months in a foreign country.
That's what I'm talking about.
Listen.
And
he committed his crime, went to jail, had a low bond like Sumner, had some bullshit stuff going on, got out. absconded out of here, having dual citizenship, went over to England and was just doing high tea over there somewhere, and God knows where. And we were able to find him, jail him over there, fight extradition, and get him back all in a shorter time than even just these period of 2 years that Sumner has been on the run. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, that is pretty funny. And for Rodney to be like, well, I don't think he's ever going to be found. That's such a weird thing.
It is a very weird thing. People should be honing in on that, because that's a clue right there. I don't care what anybody says. That's a clue. And that's what I'm saying. It's in deep. It is in deep in this county, and it will be interesting to see if anybody else gets implicated in this.
Well, that's like Cindy Ponchett just said. They didn't want him found. He holds secrets.
And that's what I mean. How much will he roll?
Yeah.
And I do hope that they keep him in Kentucky. I do hope that they keep him there, and they have to press him over in Kentucky, and that he will roll on people over here in Indiana. Because if they bring him back here to Indiana, I don't think he's going to roll on these guys, because I think they're going to make deals with him behind doors.
So
and
that's the thing. That's what?
I just got a bad feeling about it.
Well,
that's over there.
That's the thing I was telling the audience. We had a couple really good questions before you called in. People were asking, like, okay, what happens next? When will he be brought in? And so I was kind of going through the extradition process and all of that. And that's something I didn't say, but I was thinking about in my mind. I was thinking, here's what bothers me is he's obviously not, he's not a rocket scientist, but he's not like dumb. I think he's smart enough to probably be like, I don't want to talk without an attorney. I hope he doesn't do that. I hope he talks, but that's exactly what I was thinking. Like, I hope he talks down there. I hope that when they picked him up, I hope his anxiety has been 500 on a scale of 1 to 10. I hope it's been a 500. I hope his heart's been beaten out of his chest. He's just been about ready to stroke out because he's been on the run. And it's very, a lot of people that go on the run like this, once they're finally caught, they say, like, thank God, I'm glad it's over, because it's so stressful.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that he takes this time and he spills his guts, because you're exactly right. When they get him back here, I'm afraid that'll be it. And then the other thing, the other thing is, I'm very afraid that we're going to wake up one day and read some article of he Epsteined himself or something, and something fishy went on. That's the other thing that I'm worried about.
Well, the only thing I can hope is a couple things. The only thing I can hope is that he told his girlfriend everything.
Yes.
I'm going to hope for that. And then she's going to spill the beans.
Yes.
So I'm hopeful for that.
Because she's in trouble too. That's something that we haven't talked about.
The fact that she rolled on him so quick,
yes,
and gave up his license that quick, it means I have a feeling there's some falling out, and she's gonna roll over. Hopefully, he's told her enough secrets, that maybe she knows some of these people and she can implicate them. Well, that's what I'm hoping for.
I maybe they didn't even have a falling out, but it's just the fact that, dude, you got the U.S. Marshals beating your door down and putting your hands behind your back and putting you in cuffs. She doesn't want to go down for this. She's not, she's like, well, I've just been Bonnie and Clyde. We've been Bonnie and Clyde it out, but I don't want no part of that. So hope, she rolled, because that's something we haven't talked about. She was arrested in Maryland, and Rodney,
I don't think she was there very long, because if he made it to Kentucky, think about it. If he made it to Kentucky and they're picking him up around 12, maybe he slept in a lot or something. I don't know.
Well, I looked it up, and
she didn't get much time to visit.
I don't know where in Maryland. They were, obviously, but just looking up generically, Maryland to Winchester, Kentucky is about an 8-hour trip. So if he dropped her off, if he dropped her off yesterday afternoon or evening and then got on the road, I mean, yeah, right. Like, yeah, it was.
I think the name of the town was Lisbon, Lisbon, I
Where
think.
she in Maryland? Is that what you're saying, in Maryland?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and in this article, Rodney says that they are going to file a warrant for the arrest of Sumner's girlfriend. So they want her here. And so that's very interesting because, yeah, if she knows anything, she'll tell it all because she don't want no part of this. Stephanie Mason said, I was just saying to someone earlier that I bet someone is coming up for an election is going to take credit for finding him. But if he squeals on them, he is cooked. But if he keeps quiet, then he's cleared. Yeah, it depends. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here. Rodney's obviously not running for re-election, but his boy, his chief deputy, Andrew Hanna, is. And so that'll be interesting.
And that's the whole thing. There's nothing in me. And see, here's the thing. They already had like some type of warrant for his girlfriend. That's why they were able to pick her up last night. They issued that a while back. So that's why they were able to pick her up.
Sure.
And so yeah, I don't know how long he was there. I didn't know it was only 8 hours from Maryland to.
Well, Kate said Lisbon, Maryland to Winchester, Kentucky is 490 miles, 7 hours, 25 minutes.
Oh, so yeah, he didn't make it because I don't know what time of. I think they got him before noon. So if he slept somewhere through the night, right, and then got up and got moving, that would make complete sense. So
Well, sure.
It'll be, yeah. I mean, it'll be real interesting to see what happens from this point moving forward. All I can say is I do have to give a big shout out to Beeman. I mean, he worked with me. He worked with Jamie through all of this. I mean, he did everything he could to help us. I mean, there was never a time when we had a tip that Beeman was like, oh God, there was never that time. And even last night at 8:30, he was coming home from shooting practice with all the high school kids. He runs the shooting team over here in Madison County, and he was glad to take the call, and he just had to roll right into getting on top of this. That's pretty good. My understanding is the U.S. Marshal who's on this case was out of the country, which they have to have time too. I mean, there's, what I'm saying? There's nothing bad about that.
Sure.
And so it was glad that he was able to connect with whoever. And that's the great thing. While some people can, are like, well, he runs the sheriff's office a little bit differently because he comes from that U.S. Marshal. Just think of all the connections he has too that can help us, because Madison County is a war zone. I mean, this place is just off the chain. So I just have to say kudos to Beeman for getting this all taken care of, and then it happened so quickly. I honestly didn't think we would find him. I mean, I'm in total agreement.
We were just talking about this before all that shit happened last night. That's so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you and I were talking about this, and I'm like, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, no, it's not going to happen. And then here we are. We've got him, and so I kind of didn't believe it when they were telling me this, right? But I was like, okay. So
I was at my grandparents', and I've obviously been sick for the last week. And while I was sick, I had been sleeping a lot. And so, like, for the last 2 days, I'm like, dude, I cannot sleep anymore. I've been asleep for so long. Like, I just can't lay down. So last night we did the show, and I rested for a little bit, but I've been up doing stuff, getting stuff ready for the other show and doing some other things and working on budgets, going through the budget stuff for the city and all of that in the county. And so I got up and went over to my grandparents really early today, and was just tooling around. Well, about 2:00, my grandparents decided they were going to lay down and take a little nap. And I thought, I'm going to lay down and take a little nap. I got a couple of meetings I'm going to go to this evening. I'm going to lay down and take a little nap. And my phone rings and it's Catherine. And I'm like, I side button her. I'm like, I'll answer. I'll call her back later. And I side button it and she calls right back. And I side button it and she calls right back. And I side button it and I'm like, damn it, Catherine.
That's how I rate everybody. I want you to know I'm just a common citizen to Bilbrey. He and I together would have never caught this guy because he won't take my call.
How many times did you call me?
I don't know, 4 or 5 times. And I was like, what the hell? I'm like, is Muncie on fire that you're not taking my call? And then when you called me and you sounded half asleep, I was like, that's what's going on.
Four times.
Yeah. And all you did was blow me off.
Yeah, I was like, well, must be important. 4 times between 1:30 and 1:31.
See? I'm like quick draw. I'm like a ninja. I want you to know.
Somebody asked, and I don't know right now. I don't know what the girlfriend's charges are currently, but I mean, it could be any number of things. It could be obstruction. It could be assisting a fugitive. There are several things that she could be charged with.
That's the whole thing. I wonder what she's going to be charged with. I'll be interested to see how they were living. Were they working? Were they being employed? What did
I don't know who told me. I don't know who told me this, but I heard long ago, and this would have been like one of the times that I had after we had Jamie on a show. I tell you what, it might have been after, I think it was right after I went to the Dan camp and you girls all did a show and I was not on. I had talked to a source of mine with the U.S. Marshals, and someone had said that they very much believed that he was out west. And that's what's been in my mind this whole time. And all of these people, like the news ran a story that, he's down in Gatlinburg and in 2000, like the end of 2003, and in 2004, someone's like, he's in Kentucky, and someone's like, he keeps coming back into Anderson and dropping people off in Anderson and coming back and going back and forth. And I'm like, no, he's not. He's not doing that. He doesn't need to do that. Especially if they're sending him money. That's why this guy's not getting caught, because he's hunkered down. It sounds like whatever the deal is, this girl, maybe there was like a medical issue. She needed to go see her mom or whatever the deal was.
That's what I'm wondering that too. Absolutely.
What caused that? But like he ended up taking her home, and he's kicking himself. Because he's been laying low, and if he would have just done that, he would have been fine. This is what always happens.
Love makes you do the damnedest things.
And you know what's funny is...
That's why it's better to be single, Stumblefoot.
Stumblefoot's been talking about the flock camera system, and it actually got his ass.
Yeah, that's what got him.
The flock camera system actually got his ass. That's some scary shit for people out there that's not child molesters, that's not out here doing weirdness, that's not on the run from the law. They're looking at us all the same.
Yeah, it's just complete craziness and madness. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, did you look at his Sumner's used to always, his physique was always pretty good. He's got man boobs and everything.
Yeah, this is weird. It's not, I say this picture's very much like when they drug out Saddam Hussein from that trapdoor spider hole, wherever he was living, and it's like Saudi Arabia or whatever, when he was like in the hole out there in the desert, and they drug him out of, when we finally drug him out of his hidey hole. This is very much like this is Sumner's Saddam Hussein picture. and
Yeah.
it does not look good. His hair's all, he's got like the Bilberry long hair when I don't gel it, and I haven't cut my hair. He's got that thing going on, and he's all kind of unshaven and
So somebody asked me, tell me you are not paying his girlfriend the 25,000. She's just as guilty as he is.
no,
No, that would
the
never
girlfriend.
be
No,
that
no,
would never be the case.
the girlfriend doesn't get the money, but the girlfriend's family, I mean, that's going to be an interesting thing.
It is going to be an interesting thing because there's going to be a lot of, they're going to investigate it first. So they're not going to let me just ante. They're going to do a full investigation and figure out how all this came to fruition, right? Did
Yeah.
they ever at any time have any, were they hiding him at some point and then they saw this and then they were like, hey, now we're going to get, so they're going to look into it. Beeman is not willing to just blindly hand something over. He wants some things looked into first.
So what's the deal
And
with
I appreciate that.
What? Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate that. You know, you can't be just hiding somebody and then all of a sudden be like, oh, here's a reward. Let's turn them in. You know, I mean,
Yeah, well,
so
yeah.
it'll be interesting.
What's the deal with that? Did you buy an insurance policy for that?
No,
I couldn't remember if you needed to or not. Like, it's kind of like one of those things where
so,
the golf,
yeah.
the car dealership says, if you hit a hole in one, you get this free Jeep. And what they do is they get an insurance policy against it. So, you know, whatever, but
yeah, so that's the thing. In good faith, and that's why they were all upset, the Herald Bulletin and all those guys in the county, because Beeman said, you know, Catherine's given me her word, and that's all I need.
oh yeah.
Now,
Sure.
generally, you have to put it in this account, and it has to
Yeah.
sit there, and it has to, you know, and you have to go through all these hoops. And Beeman's like, nope. I mean, where's she going to go? She can't move her entire practice.
Well, yeah, right.
And you know, and so he just said, no, we're gonna roll with Catherine on this, and I have enough faith in Catherine that she'll do. You know, when he called me, I said, you know, just tell me what you need me to do, and he says, I know, but we're gonna let's look into this because this is just now happening, and we need to make sure all the players are legit.
Maybe Darlene Likens turned him in. They like the money.
Well, see, there you go. Because they might need it to keep their own defense. I don't know, but let me tell you who came out of the woodworks tonight. So, you know, we had that big sheriff's meeting tonight, and with the whole council and everything. Well, you know, the sheriffs were told to pound sand. There's
Hold on,
just no way.
Because I want to ask you about this. Back up real quick, but I want to say this. Court person, and what is that? Cortini says, will the court dates be open to the public? Yes, they will be open to the public. The court dates any hearing from here forward with him will be open to the public. Okay, go ahead, Catherine.
So as we're going through this meeting and they took a little break because it went for so long, I walked out to go to the restroom, and I walked down the corridor, and this was a face I hadn't seen in some time. There was Darlene Likens.
Ooh.
Now, she hasn't been to one of these meetings in a long time, but suddenly tonight she's present with because that room was packed with sheriffs.
Yeah.
But I will tell you one thing, none of those sheriffs were talking about that. They were all honed in on their raises.
Well, yeah.
So she might have been a bit disappointed.
Sure.
So, yeah. And, you know, I feel bad for those sheriffs. They sat there. Those sheriffs sat there from 6 o'clock till 9:30 and still told to pound sand.
Yes.
When the commissioners got $450,000.
Dude, what a laughing stock. Why did the commissioners get that much money?
You know what? That's a clip. You need to look at that. You need to look at that clip because it's unbelievable. So they said, well, we need this money, which would have been only roughly a little over 300,000.
Who stood up and said they needed it? Was it Ricky?
Well, they actually made Todd do it. They made Todd, and that's what I don't understand. Is Todd the commissioner's secretary? Why is Todd the one that's standing up here
Kinda.
doing that? No,
The auditor is.
you know. So here they get up there, and he needs it for perf and FICA. Well, you know good and well that you should have budgeted for that like last year. Like, how are you off by 300 and some $1,000? So, anyways, as they get up there, and you got to love Bethany. So as they get up there, Bethany says to him something like, well, what if we don't give it to you? And he said, well, here's the deal. You have no choice but to give it to me because it has to be paid. You guys would be in violation for not paying it. Then Rob still goes, well, we appropriated that, but then we took it away from him. And then Todd's like, I told you not to take it from me because we were going to need it. And then Jody's like, yeah, we did take it from him. I'm thinking to myself, you guys are cutting budgets where you know you're going to have to pay. You know how bad that makes you guys look as a council? Because you want to show the people that you're cutting the budget by 2 million and you're getting it at 44.9 million, but yet you're cutting from line items you know you're going to have to give back. That's deceit. That's lying to the public.
I hate those people, man.
So then it gets even better. So then Bethany starts really questioning Todd. And Todd starts getting real red, and he starts he is just about ready to come out of his skin, right?
Yeah.
So Bethany, and he goes, I don't care. So Todd goes, I don't care if you give it to me or not, because I'm going to pay it, because this would be a federal offense if I didn't. And so Bethany said, well, then that would be a misappropriations of fund, and that's a Class B misdemeanor. And he goes, I'll take that Class B misdemeanor before I ever commit a federal crime. He goes, so I just want you to know, you can, if you don't give it, you can file it with the state boards that I did a misappropriation of funds, but they just laugh in your face because they say, well, who wouldn't fund this? It's a federal mandate that you have to do it. And so I got up there and I said, I want everybody to see that you can bully your council and make them give you money. It was an he just leaned over that podium like, I'll take the Class B misdemeanor. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. And so it was a lot to take in tonight, on top of the fact that they found Sumner. It was like you had this immediate, gratefulness that we did. And then we went into this and just watching. Listen, we don't have any money. I don't know how they're going to extradite these two home. They don't have to do just one. They got to do two.
Yeah.
So how are we going to do this, and how are we going to get this done? I don't know how long they can keep Sumners until they extradite them. I don't know how this works.
So what are you asking? What you just jumped all of a sudden? What are you talking about?
So how long did they keep Sumners before they extradite them back?
It just depends. So I've already told the audience this, but I'll tell you. So they can ask him, and he can waive it and come back quickly, or he can say no, he wants to fight it, and then they'll have to go through a legal fight, and it could take a while. It could take up to 45, 50, 60 days, or it could be as early as next week. It really
and listen, Stumblefoot, I would love to rather play that flock camera system. Absolutely. I would rather pay the flock system.
So, well, once somebody, if he fights extradition, then it's no longer up to the sheriff. At that point, it goes before the court, and then it just gets set on the court calendar down there, and we would have to fight it. And so that's it. I don't know. I'm about 50-50 on whether or not I think he's going to waive or not. I just don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, do you think he's going to spill the beans on everybody else who's part of this mess?
Man, I don't know. I don't know about that either. I don't really know. I don't know. If you want me to be honest with you, I don't think he will. No, I think I was lying. I was trying not to say it. No, I don't think he will. I don't think we're going to hear anything. I think he's going to come back here. I think he's going to get a sweetheart deal. I think it'll be what it'll be, and it'll be done talking about it. I think that's what'll happen. Yeah, no, I agree. The flock system is bullshit.
Well, I don't know. I'm just hoping that he has told this chick all these dark secrets in the event that somebody would have offed him,
Yeah.
and that she's like, listen. I mean, maybe he likes this chick so much that he's told her little things to
Yeah.
help get her a better plea deal.
Sure, that's a very good possibility too. Absolutely.
You know, and then he's
Yes,
not the
no, he
bad
is
guy.
doing
It's
that.
like, well, she's the one that told, not me.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know, I mean, I don't really know how this is all going to all play out, but yeah, I mean, they say either way he's coming back, but I don't know. I mean, you know, here in Madison County, they've got a lot of players inside the jail too. He may not be too safe in the jail.
Well, it'll be interesting to see. I talked about all that at the beginning too. It's very interesting. So we'll continue
Yeah.
following it and see what goes on. And continue watching what's happening. And so just before we wrap up, what happened at the end of the meeting tonight? What happened with the sheriff's budget, or what was going on?
The sheriffs need to pound some sand.
Explain what that means a little bit. What happened?
The only thing they can come up with is maybe they can do a one-time check for 11%. What's that do for anybody? I mean, that doesn't do anything for anybody.
Wait,
So
one-time check?
yeah, one time 11%. That's it. They can't promise anything.
One year, or one for like all their checks, or what do you mean one time?
Well, she said just a one-time payment, and that's
Oh,
it.
that's
So
dumb as shit.
well, so I got to go back and listen to that because they kind of lost me. They were wavering back and forth. And I'll tell you this right now. They already have 7 sheriffs who are saying that if they didn't get this tonight, they're walking. If I had to give advice to the sheriffs tonight, what I would do is one by one tomorrow, I would walk in and put a resignation on that desk.
Easier said than done, but I
No,
definitely get you.
No, it's not. And let me tell you
I
why.
hear you.
Let me tell you why. After you saw this council cave when Todd Culp backed them against the
Yeah,
wall,
sure.
a precedence was set.
Yeah,
A precedence was set. So you know what?
yeah,
The prosecutor didn't come to that podium. You didn't see any of the judges coming to that podium, but boy, they were beating down every municipality how they needed to raise that public safety
Yeah.
lit tax. You
Yeah.
didn't see Andrew Hanna coming to that. Well, you know what? Great. None of you guys want to come to that podium for me? Excellent. So, but one by one, those sheriffs should walk in there. You know what? You guys figure out how to secure this courthouse. You
Yeah.
guys figure out how to secure those courtrooms. You guys figure out how to get road patrol out there. And you know what? Those state cops that are all around, they can come and cover all this shit because that's the pressure that you're putting on these officers.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. It's not that they're going to be without a job. Okay. That's not going to happen because they can walk 3 blocks over to APD and they're paying anywhere from $70,000 to $90,000 depending on your experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they're getting a 25.5% raise that they just locked in yesterday. So, you know, the gig is up. If the county doesn't do it, the sheriffs really do have the upper hand. There's nothing saying they can't all say, here's our 4-week resignation, you know?
Yeah.
And what the sheriff can do is say, okay, this is what I need from you guys. I'm going to accept your resignations. The first batch is going to go in 2 weeks. The second batch is going to go in 3 weeks. The next batch is going to go in 4 weeks. And then if they're out, they're out. You cannot just train officers and pull them off of the street and say, have at it.
Absolutely.
So that's just my thing. I think they absolutely should say, we're done.
Yeah. See ya.
Yeah, see, I think it's Cheryl saying that, and Dave might be watching. I think it's a one-time 11% check. that's what I was picking up at the end too.
Yeah,
So
that's some crazy shit.
this can get really out of hand here real quick in Madison County, and they just can't afford they just can't afford to lose these the amount of experience they will lose,
Oh yeah.
you know, and like I mean it's not Beeman's fault. And let me tell everybody here that's listening, I know there's a large amount of people that love Sheriff Mellinger. I know that. Okay. I'm not a fan. I don't have anything good to say about the man. Okay. And at the end of the day, it's really Sheriff Mellinger that failed this pay. And when you ask me how that can be, at the end of Mellinger's tenure, he ended up suing the county because
Yeah.
he wasn't being paid appropriately because he didn't know how to get paid. He didn't know he was supposed to be getting a certain percentage of what the prosecutor is being paid.
Right.
So he was short. And he decided, well, I'm only going to go after 2 years where I could go after, 4 years or something like that. Like he's given us some kind of break. So here's the thing. If he didn't know how to get himself paid, that's why the sheriffs are so underpaid
The
in the
deputies,
county,
yes.
because he didn't do a good enough job. And so, and my understanding is he was a sheriff 3 different times.
No.
So
he couldn't.
with that being said, he should have known better.
Well, you can only be a
And
sheriff 2 times in a row.
right, but I guess he was a sheriff and then something happened and then he came back and he was whatever. But
Okay. Anyways,
so it was just an interesting meeting all the way around. They're calling another special meeting, but they have to post it, so it'll be, I think it's on the 23rd. Yeah, it's a one-time check of 11%.
yeah, that's crazy. Oh
That's
my
crazy.
God.
Who would
So your next
ever?
meeting is on the 23rd?
Yeah.
Damn it. They need to stop doing it the same time Muncie's are.
Well, this is a special meeting that they're going to call, and they're going to call this meeting to talk about all of this. It's just it was a crazy meeting, if you ask me, because when it benefited them, they could pull from the rainy day fund. But when
Yeah,
the officers
sure.
needed, we couldn't pull from the rainy day
Yeah,
fund.
yeah,
There
yeah.
was just so much of that crap that was awful. Okay, so there, Kerry McFadden said he was the sheriff for 8 years, then was in the state house, and then he came back for another 8 years. That's what I'm saying.
I don't
He
remember
knew
him
what the
doing
drill
that.
was. He's the one that failed these officers. That's who they need to look at. And I know a lot of these officers love him, but I'm telling you right now, he's not a good businessman.
Well, they're gonna have to deal with that. We're getting down to the wire. They're gonna have to do something. Man,
Yeah.
I don't think that these council people know their ass from a hole in the ground when it comes to all that. And I just think they're sitting there,
Well, even the auditor has no
with their
idea what's
thumbs up
going
their
on.
asses. They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, you got Slick Rick. Listen, people. At the end of the day, it is what it is. You got 2 auditors back to back that have filed personal bankruptcy in their older adult life. I get it. You're 21, you're 27. Okay, I'm going to give you a little bit of leniency there, right? Even Eli Lilly did it until I think he was like at the age of 40, right? So I'll give you a little bit of credit.
Or
But after that, you really should have your crap together.
maybe even
And
if
look
it's
at Eli
something that
Lilly.
you
He
do,
finally learned from it.
maybe
These 2 knuckleheads, they still can't even pay their property taxes on time, and they filed bankruptcy.
But maybe even if it's something that you do later on because you go through like a horrible, like you have like a divorce or some shit. But these people
Yeah.
haven't had that. It's just like they're not having that. They're not being able to function properly. It's like, what is
Right.
going on? That is so strange.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, there's just a lot to learn from all of this. And I have just never seen. And what was so interesting to me is this council saying it's not that we don't love public safety. It's
Oh,
not
you're
that
so
we
sick
don't
of
have
hearing that.
respect for public safety. Oh, your actions speak. They scream. Your actions scream that you don't have it. We see your mouths moving, right? We see that, but
Yeah.
your actions can't find money anywhere. So this is what I don't understand, Christopher. And it's again, so they were up $7.9 million at the end of 2024. $7.9 million. So let's go into 2025, and now they have $5.5 million of interest money that they came from the ARPA funds that the commissioners feel they should control. So now we're up 7.9 and 5.5. So we're at what, 13 point something? So we're up $13 million, and you guys can't figure out how you're supposed to pay our sheriffs? I mean, and you gladly gave that money tonight for your incompetence. They had $150,000 in settlement, right,
Yeah.
Christopher?
Yeah.
So this is then Gardner comes to the podium and he explains that he's got all these settlements, but they're not his settlements. It's just that the commissioner's office has to pay for it,
Yeah.
right?
Sure.
And that there's these car accidents, but they're not his car accidents, they're other departments' car accidents. So the public asks, can we get a copy of those 6 pages you got in front of you? No. You have to do a FOIA request. Well, what's to hide? Why not show the people what departments are having car accidents? Why not show the people what we're paying in settlements? Why not show what we're
Who
paying
asked
settlements
that?
for? You know, and that's the whole thing.
Wait.
So now people
Who
have to do
asked?
FOIA requests. This is just nuts.
Wait. Who asked for the document?
The public.
And who told him no?
Green and Gardner, they're like, you'll have to do a FOIA request. Oh, that's part of that, Sonny. These are lawsuit settlements. This is nuts. And nobody could tell us how much we've paid in lawsuits to date.
Well,
Nobody could tell us how much we've paid in attorney fees to date. You know, this is the thing. So they want us to get up there and we can speak, but they don't have to answer us.
yeah.
You know, and that's ridiculous. That, you know, why don't you, and really at the end of the day, what the deal is, Todd Culp has not come to the meeting prepared.
Oh, yeah, right.
So you can't ask him nothing. I mean, even the sheriffs were saying this guy is clueless.
Yeah.
I'm glad finally other people are picking that up.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey, real quick. I've got this statement here from Jamie Lynn, and I think this would probably be a good thing to end on. This is a statement from the wife of the survivor of Sumner. Jamie Lynn says, our family is feeling a lot of relief and is also a lot of emotions from the news today. I want to thank every single person who helped continuously spread the word and those that kept our family in their prayers. We are survivors, not victims. There's still a long road ahead, but we will be ready to face it with strength. I do hope that it'll go away quicker and smoother than the past 5 years. We hope he will be prosecuted to the fullest and that the fear we have been living is finally over. It is past time for this to be behind us. So I think that's a pretty good statement.
Yeah. And my response to Jamie Lynn is, I'm not so sure it's going to be prosecuted to its fullest. And that
I'm
is what
afraid.
bothers me the
Yeah.
most. I agree with Jamie Lynn. But I've got a bad feeling about bringing him home.
Yeah.
I just don't think this county can do the right thing.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens from here going forward. Now that he's caught, it's like, let's see what other ways the county can screw this up.
And that's the thing. I mean, if the county, and it's clear after tonight nobody thinks that the county is awake and people are on top of this. But I will tell you, tonight kind of was very interesting to me in that council meeting. There were a lot of faces in there I had never seen before.
It was packed. The meeting was a packed room, and
people were like,
good.
we're just sick of the way they're spending our money
Yeah.
and the abuse. And I'm like, I'm just glad to see common citizens that are like, you know what, we've had enough of this.
Yeah. Nick Shirk, that's
So,
exactly right. You're exactly correct. The
yeah.
county is holding the bag and are playing politics, not paying them what they deserve. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's the thing.
We will continue to follow this, obviously, and we'll see what goes on and continue following this. We'll have to have you back on regularly here coming up, Catherine, and dissect all of this further and see what goes on. But we'll go from there.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, so get with me and we'll break her all down.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to me tonight, you guys.
All
Miss
right.
you guys.
Yep. Thank you, man. We'll have you on
All right,
here
see ya.
soon. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Catherine Callahan. I'm glad people showed up to the meeting. There was a Muncie City finance meeting tonight. Not a whole lot went on. Same thing that's been happening in the others. I've got a lot of comments to make about that. I issued a lot of emails and record requests to different things today within the city of Muncie and Delaware County. So we'll talk about that more tomorrow. And we will go from there. So thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be back tomorrow night at 9 p.m. If you're new here, thank you for stopping by. We're not done with this coverage. We will have more on this and much, much more. Hit the subscribe before you leave the channel if you're on YouTube. It does not cost you anything. Make sure you click the like button. If you so would, that would be fantastic. We would love it. I just dropped an editorial on the Facebook page, Winchester City Court Closure and the aftermath. It took 3 years to get all the info. I will get a hold of you about that. I will read that, and maybe we'll take a look at that. And if you're okay with that, we can read that on the show tomorrow. Eric, if you're okay with that. So let me know, and we can read that on the show. Rebecca, good night. Thank you for tuning in. And you guys, yeah, Catherine can turn that volume down now. You guys take care. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you tomorrow. And we'll go from there. Peace.